American dream. To his last breath, he'll always be a soldier.
Heard on great radio stations all across America. It's the National Defense with Randy Miller and Jerry Newberry.
The National Defense is made possible by Ford. Go further. By the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. By VSP. For more information on how VSP can help you in your corrective vision needs, visit VSP.com. By the Wounded Warrior Project, serving those who sacrificed for over 15 years. Online at woundedwarriorproject.org. By Gillette On Demand. Get Gillette quality blades delivered directly to your door with Gillette On Demand. Learn more at GilletteOnDemand.com. By Morgan Stanley. Discover how they can help you achieve your long-term financial goals at morganstanley.com. By Farmers Insurance. We know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Find an agent at farmers.com. By Gorilla Glue, makers of Gorilla Tape for the toughest jobs on planet Earth. And by Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant. It goes on clear and keeps you fresh all day, and it doesn't leave white marks on your shirt.
This is the National Defense. Randy Miller along with Jerry Newberry. As always, our dedication.
Hey, this show is for you, the men and women serving on active duty in the Guard and Reserves. It's for the millions of veterans out there, and it's for all their families. We're here for you. We love you. God bless you.
I love our buddies at WD-40 because they always bring us somebody that's outstanding. They're doing some crazy stuff, and this is one of those. Matt Myrick is here. Matt, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Doing good, man. I've just been all over your website and your YouTube stuff. You are the head of Busted Knuckle Entertainment, Busted Knuckle Films, the self-described leader in worldwide extreme motorsports entertainment. And I got to tell you, if you guys need to check this out on YouTube and their Facebook page. This is some great stuff. Rock bouncing, mega trucks. What else do you cover?
We cover anything basically extreme off-road motorsports, Formula off-road stuff all over the country and sometimes all over the world.
That's fun. That's good stuff, man. That's got to just keep you busy.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's definitely my dream job for sure.
That is great. Well, so I want to talk to you today about first of all about your partnership with WD-40. How long have you been with those guys?
I've been working with them for a little over a year now, so it's been really awesome to have a company that size really believe in us and what we're doing.
Yeah, and WD-40 comes up in the conversation so many times, especially when you're talking about any time of performance vehicles. How do you guys use it?
We use it all over our shop. And they have all kinds of, not only do they have, the blue and yellow can of their product that everyone's pretty familiar with, but they have this whole nother line of specialist products that we use, from greases to parts cleaner. We got an Army vet that works here with us at the shop. His name is Sebastian, and we have to hide the parts cleaner from him because if we don't, he'll use every bit of it up and we'll never have any.
WD-40 is also applicable on old Army vets. Did you know that?
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Yeah. We got a couple on the show, and we have to grease them down every 2 or 3 weeks. But now you know your stuff in terms of cars and vehicles. So you're going to help us out, I think, with some winter vehicle maintenance tips, right?
Absolutely.
All right. So let's get started with battery terminals.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably one of the first things that we do getting ready for the winter season. We have diesel trucks, and the winter is very hard on the batteries for them. So most time we'll start off the winter season with making sure that the terminals are nice and clean. WD-40 has a nice electrical contact cleaner that works really good to blast away all the oil and dirt and crud that, work around those terminals, making sure you're getting a good clean connection so that truck will start and you won't be sitting there freezing in the parking lot.
Yeah, I didn't know they had that. That's a specialty item, electrical contract cleaner.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just another one of their, WD-40 specialist products.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Now, this is driving me crazy in the winter with tire air pressure, because every time I get in my car, it always the tires are low.
Right. Yeah, that's one of the things on newer vehicles. I mean, they got the little warning light that'll let you know.
Right.
But pretty much for every 10 degrees of drop in temperature, your air pressure can change up to 1 psi. So if it drops, 50 degrees, then that's 5 pounds of air. And so we definitely want to check your air pressure in all your tires. because if they're on the optimal pressure, they're going to, add life to your tire, and they're also going to make you get better fuel mileage.
And what about the coolant? Now, you don't think about your coolant in the winter, but maybe you should, huh?
Right, yeah. So I actually messed up on this one big time last year. I make sure all my vehicles have the coolant checked and make sure that they're up to the temperature for the area that you live in, the temperature drops that you're going to be dealing with. I didn't do a good job of this on my boat last year, so I got to replace freeze plugs when it came time to use it this spring. So definitely be sure to do that, because you definitely don't want to have to do what I did.
And now this is one that hits home for me, because we're based in Kansas City, and I know the only thing here right now that are hot are the Chiefs, and everything else is just dead cold. But in cold weather states, what do you do to prevent rust?
Right, so that's something we don't have to deal a lot with in Alabama. It doesn't snow very much at all here, but WD-40 is good for spraying on pretty much anything moving or non-moving under your car to help keep that road grime. It's called a salt and stuff, and it's going to be corrosive and rust your frame and rust out your parts. They even have a spray and stay still gel lubricant that's going to protect for up to 1 year that you can spray on some of those moving parts under your car. That'll help out a lot as well. And we use WD-40 on our race rigs, and it keeps mud and stuff from sticking to them, so we can just pressure wash it right off when we get home from the races. And it'll do the same thing for you when it comes to rust prevention and that road grime during the winter season. I
mean, if you guys use it and it's successful in your vehicles, the stuff you put them through, it's going to be good for everybody. And then, Matt, I think Busted Knuckle, you've got these kind of vehicle maintenance tips on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram too, right?
We do, yes. We try to show our viewers how we can use these products on vehicles that they have as well, whether it's a UTV, a Jeep, truck, anything like that. We have a lot of different uses that we can have for the products, and we showcase all of those on our social media for our followers.
So give us an idea about Busted Knuckle and what you guys cover, maybe some of the events that you've covered.
Yeah, so right now it's actually been kind of it's the slow season, but we're getting ready to ramp up and travel all over the place. Actually, our first one, we're going to King of the Hammers in California, and that's the first week in February, and that's Ultra 4 racing, and they're also going to have trophy trucks. Ultra 4 racing is basically a unlimited four-wheel drive vehicle. It's kind of a mix between a rock crawler and a desert truck. So they'll be doing 100 plus miles an hour across the desert, and then they'll slow down, put it in low range, and crawl up some rock walls and ledges as well. So that's our first big event. We'll be actually driving from Alabama to California, so it's about 2,000 miles each way. But we go out there every year, and that's the big kickoff. We'll have some rock bouncers out there as well competing. They have a little shootout on Monday night, between the two. So it's a real good way to start out the year. We get to see a bunch of people out there, a bunch of fans. So really looking forward to that. And that really just kicks off race season. And then after that, it's every other weekend. We pretty much have a race or something we'll be at pretty much every weekend for the rest of the year.
That's got to be that California event. It's got to be a lot of people turning out for that, huh?
Absolutely. I think they have like 40,000 people or something like that shows up. They basically, if you know what Burning Man is, it's like Burning Man for off-roaders. I mean, they basically take this dry desert lake bed that is desolate and there's nothing there, and then within a week it looks like a city. Like they've got full vendor areas and tents everywhere, and it's just amazing.
Hey, and man, I don't know how long you've been involved with. How long has Busted Knuckle Films been around?
So we've been around since 2007, and I pretty much just started out as a kid with a camera. I knew I couldn't afford these, high-end off-road vehicles, so the next best thing for me was to be up and close with a camera. So, I didn't want to sit, behind the fence or behind the lines with the crowd. I wanted to be up there up and close, and the camera allowed me to do that. So that content kind of set us out there. We put it all over, social media, and that's kind of what made us grow to where it is now.
Are you amazed? So you started in 2007, but are you amazed that since then, even how big this stuff has become, and the sponsorship levels and the vendors and what you were talking about before? It's huge.
It is. It's crazy. We even here in the last year we started a actual off-road performance shop here in Coleman, Alabama, and we're actually building these vehicles for customers now.
Wow! And you do the mega trucks too, right?
We do go to a lot of mega truck races. That's a big thing down here in the Southeast and a good bit up north as well.
It's a big thing everywhere. What is it about these mega and monster trucks? And we've interviewed a couple. We interviewed a couple of monster truck drivers on this program, and they're certifiable. I mean, they're nuts. And but these guys are like legends in their field, right?
Right. Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, it's basically, getting in a car wreck for a job. Like that's what they go out and do is just wreck these trucks. I feel bad for the guys that have to work on them all the time, but I mean, we do the same thing here in the shop. We'll have guys that we build rigs for, and they'll go out and they'll break them during a race, and they'll come back, and we'll have to have them ready to go for the next race the next weekend. So
I was just going to ask you.
But it's good.
Yeah, I want to ask you, what kind of stuff do you guys, after a deal like that, what are you looking at in terms of a repair?
As far as like how much it's going to cost kind of thing, or
just
things that need to be repaired?
Yeah, things that need, I come in, I maybe need, new brakes, but after a truck comes in like that, what do they need?
Oh, geez. I mean, they could need parts of the chassis replaced, axles completely rebuilt, motors swapped. I mean, there's all kinds of things. It can be as.
Yeah, what a cool job. Matt Myrick with Busted Knuckle Films. And where's the best place for people to see all your stuff?
The best place is just to head over to our website, bustedknucklefilms.com.
That's great. Hey, Matt, thank you so much, and thanks to WD-40 for introducing us. They're great folks over there, and they're always into something fun, which is cool.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We'll be right back with the National Defense right after this word from Farmers Insurance. When you're dealing with life's ups and downs, it helps to know the ins and outs of insurance. Farmers Insurance has been sharing practical insurance knowledge for more than 89 years. At Farmers, we know a thing or two because we've seen a thing or two. Find an agent at farmers.com.
We are farmers. Bum, 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 bum.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Welcome to F-150 Radio, the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar. Dean, go.
I'm all about lowering the bar, like I only brush my teeth on Monday.
The new Ford F-150 lineup raises the bar by being number one in towing, payload, and torque. It can make you more capable.
Capable schmapable.
The new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
When properly configured, class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds GVW are based on Ford segmentation.
Gillette takes great pride in offering the right razor for every kind of face. Now you can get the right razor for your grooming needs when you need it with Gillette On Demand and have quality blades delivered right to your door. Subscribe to Gillette On Demand today and take $5 off your first order with special offer NDR5 at checkout. Enjoy free shipping, hassle-free billing, and you can change or cancel anytime. Visit online at GilletteOnDemand.com and remember, get $5 off your first order with special offer NDR5 at checkout.
Upgrading your bathroom? The Home Depot can help you upgrade that upgrade at the Winter Kitchen and Bath event. Right now, add the finishing touch with an exclusive Kohler Katoon faucet for just $89. It's available in a stylish brushed nickel finish, and you'll only find it at the Home Depot, Kohler's #1 retailer. So upgrade your bathroom and let the savings flow. The Winter Kitchen and Bath event at the Home Depot. More saving, more doing. Valid through March 24th while supplies last.
This portion of the National Defense is brought to you by Gorilla Glue, the makers of Gorilla Tape. Gorilla Tape has a tough, reinforced backing and is made with double-thick adhesive that grips to smooth, rough, and uneven surfaces. With a weather-resistant shell, Gorilla Tape can be used both indoors and out, which is perfect for applications in the field, including duck blinds, tree stands, and tent repairs. Gorilla Tape and Gorilla Glue for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
We're standing guard with the truth. The National Defense.
Welcome back to the National Defense. I'm Randy Miller, and for the Morgan Stanley Money Brief, we're here again with Michelle Morrow and a few more tips. And Michelle, last week we talked about cutting our expenses on non-essential things like video streaming services. But then what should you do to help yourself stay on budget and not drive yourself crazy?
So eliminating things that aren't necessary, especially if you're not using them, is a great way to help increase that discretionary income, and that'll allow you to allocate more towards things that are more important, like paying down your debt faster, beefing up your emergency savings, or even starting to save for a long-term purchase like, a house.
Sure. But you got to have something for yourself, right?
You do, and you definitely need to build that into your budget. So make sure that you give yourself an allowance that includes everyday expenditures like groceries, clothes, and even general entertainment, right? No one's saying that you have to be miserable just because you're employing your financial plan. Make sure you add that into your budget because that'll make sure that you stick to it.
Yeah, that's the thing, Michelle, and to be able to stick to it and really be consistent over time, right?
Exactly. You don't want to overspend, and even, give yourself a little bit of flexibility. It's kind of like a diet where even if you overspend 1 month, that's fine. Just don't let it derail and turn into a long-term trend. Go back to your budget, see where you've spent differently than you had budgeted for, and make those adjustments and get back on track.
So, okay, once you get your financial plan and your budget, then what?
So the next thing that you want to think about is to have insurance. And, this goal doesn't often get the focus or attention that it needs, but it really can make or break your long-term financial goals. So you want to think about some basic types of insurance, including healthcare, car insurance, and either home or renter's insurance to protect your items. You just never know when a disaster is going to strike.
Sure.
And without insurance, you could be on the hook to repair your car, pay medical bills, maybe even out of pocket, or replace items that are stolen or lost in, a fire or another emergency, and none of those things are cheap.
No.
And not to mention the fact that, once you do spend all of that money, it gets really hard to get out from underneath those expenses, and, you also want to pay down your debt, and so if you're continuing to add to it, you're really just spinning your wheels and not making progress.
Right. Well, I was surprised to hear insurance is the second most important goal to tackle first, but it makes sense. What would be next?
Next is an emergency fund. This means having 3 to 6 months of your expenses. So going back to your budget, what are your fixed expenses? Make sure that you have 3 to 6 months of those in a savings account. And again, this is what you're going to use to cover payments for your rent, your mortgage, car, cell phone, utilities, etc. And you want to, be prepared. Let's say someone in your household is out of work unexpectedly. You want to make sure that you have a cushion in place to help you get through a few months without immediately being underwater.
Wow.
And the last thing to note on that too, as I said, make sure that it's in a savings account. This is not the money that you want to put into the stock market or into another account where it could fluctuate or you might lose it. It needs to be something you can easily get to when there's an emergency.
All right. So, Michelle, just to recap, so you create a financial plan and a budget, and then make sure you're protected against the unknown and build that emergency fund.
Exactly. If you focus on those, you're off to a good start. And so next week we'll talk about the next two goals, which are paying off your debt and retirement.
Retirement would be the last thing, I'll bet. Hey, Michelle,
exactly.
Thank you so much. We'll be back here next week with a brand new Morgan Stanley Money Brief right here on the National Defense.
This radio program does not provide individually tailored advice. It has been prepared without regard to the individual financial circumstances and objectives of persons who receive it. The strategies discussed may not be suitable for all individuals. Morgan Stanley recommends that individuals independently evaluate particular strategies and encourages them to seek the advice of a financial advisor. The appropriateness of a particular strategy will depend on an individual's circumstances and objectives. Tax laws are complex and subject to change. Morgan Stanley, its affiliates, and Morgan Stanley and financial advisors do not provide tax or legal advice and are not fiduciaries under ERISA, the Internal Revenue Code, or otherwise, with respect to the services or activities described herein, except as otherwise provided in writing by Morgan Stanley and or as described at www.morganstanley.com/disclosures/DOL. Individuals are encouraged to consult their tax and legal advisors, A, before establishing a retirement plan or account, and B, regarding any potential tax, ERISA, and related consequences of any investment made under such plan or account. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC, member SIPC. With the active duty sweat protection of Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant, you can focus on looking your best. From your dress blues to your ACUs. From 0500 to the next, Gillette's 48-hour sweat and odor protection has got your 6 all day long, keeping you fresh and ready for action. Gillette goes on clear and doesn't leave white marks, so you always pass inspection with flying colors. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant, tough on sweat and as ready for action as you are.
Hey, welcome back to the National Defense. It's Randy Miller, Jerry Newberry, and we are, yes, we are still in San Diego, Farmers Insurance Open. Hey, how you doing?
Good. How about you?
Good. Now, so this is a cool event. It's a gigantic event, Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, I really didn't expect anything like this.
I didn't either. We're at the YMCA, special YMCA, though, and it's in total support of military families, which is incredible. Never heard anything about that before. We've got a young man right now. What's your name?
Salvador Serna.
And now, what are you doing here?
Well, I'm here. They gifted me a car because I was in Native event. It was a STEP program that gifted it. Well, they collabed with STEP.
Wait a minute. You just won a car?
Yeah. Oh, I didn't win it. They gifted it.
Man, well, hey, congratulations.
Thank you.
And what did you have to do for that car?
No, not much, really. Well, I was in need of it. That was mostly about it.
So are you enlisted? The STEP program is Support the Enlisted Project, right?
Yes.
Tell us what that means.
So it's just like what they do? Or it's so they basically just support the enlisted, that the ones that are in need. In my case, I was pretty in need of it. I have a newborn 2-month-old, so I'm pretty sure that's why they this guy, he's priority. So
that's so cool, man.
I mean, I'm kind of in disbelief, because other programs that you hear about, you got to earn it, you got to win it, you got to.
When I was an enlisted guy,
car,
man, I had to run, not walk, but run everywhere.
Yeah, right.
We still run everywhere.
Yeah, I'll bet you do. Yeah. So how old are you?
I'm 20.
You're 20.
Yes.
And so, what are your plans in terms of the military?
Right now, I'm looking to re-enlist, actually. Make it a career.
Yeah.
Get out in 20. And then from there, after that, own my own little, mechanic shop.
Cool.
So that's always been my dream as well.
What kind of branch are you in?
I'm in the Marine Corps.
Well, all I can say is congratulations. I'll be gracious. I was a paratrooper in the Army, but my twin brother was a Marine. So that was some interesting conversation. Still is.
Yeah, thank you once again. I want to give a shout-out to STEP, Caliber Collision, and Farmers.
Yeah,
they made all this happen.
I'll tell you, Farmers Insurance, and we've been around all week, seeing what they do for different projects and all. It's just amazing, how many things they can do. And this car, I mean, this is not what.
This is your car?
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
No.
Brand new Toyota Corolla.
Better wheels than I'm driving, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, that's cool.
What rank are you?
I'm a Lance Corporal, E3.
Okay. Right. Well,
Lance Corporal, good for you, man. Good on you.
Yeah, thank you.
Absolutely. Again. Thank you for your service, and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right.
We appreciate it.
Yeah,
thank you.
Absolutely.
No problem. Thank you.
So we found the person who knows all about the STEP program over here. What's your name?
Kathy Bradshaw.
Hey, Kathy, what a fantastic program this is. Tell us how STEP started.
Well, STEP basically came about because we understand that military people living in Southern California are living under a huge financial burden. And like most young Americans, don't have a lot of financial skills. So that's our overall mission, is to build financial self-sufficiency among active duty, E1 to E6, and recently honorably discharged from the same pay grades. And that's how we met Alvaro.
So do you provide financial advice per se?
We do. We do financial counseling and help people to identify their own financial goals and build a plan to get to them. And in about 50% of those cases, we need to add a grant to it in order to help them get up to a level that will allow them to follow their plan for financial self-sufficiency.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that take so much advantage of our service members.
Right.
I mean,
predators.
They sell some of these pickup trucks and so on and so forth, and they'll sign them up for 10-year loans and things like that, right?
It does happen, yes. Mm-hmm.
Now look at this. So we just talked to a young man who got a new car.
Yeah.
Right back here, there's a young lady that's holding a $3,000 giant cardboard check. What's that story?
It says scholarship on there.
Yeah.
This is one of the farmers insurance programs that they're doing right now. And so she wrote an essay, and her essay was selected as the #1 essay on patriotism out of all the ones that were submitted.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah, so cool, yeah.
So what does having farmers involved with you guys mean?
It's amazing. We're one of the beneficiaries of the Farmers Insurance Open, Support the Enlisted Project is, and we are so grateful for the partnership of that organization, the Century Club and Farmers Insurance Open. They're amazing. They really care about our military, and they put their money where their mouth is. You can definitely see it happen.
And how long have you been with the program?
I've been with STEP for, it'll be 6 years in May.
Wow, great work.
So this is a huge event here, and many military families are here. What exactly are they doing today, and what are they receiving?
So there's several things that are going on. There's a little barbecue place that's serving breakfast so they can eat right here. There's also a food line where they're distributing groceries that you can take home so you can eat for the next week or so with the groceries. Starbucks is donating some drinks and so forth. They've got a bunch of volunteers out here. So there's quite a bit going on to help families. And this is all being hosted by the Armed Forces YMCA.
That's the other thing that I've never heard about, an Armed Forces YMCA.
Yes, it's one of our partner programs, and they're just awesome.
Yeah, this is a great event. Oh, and thanks so much for what you're doing for our enlisted people.
Absolutely. We're honored to do it.
Thank you so much.
Another hero.
Let's talk to this young lady here.
Okay.
I see you
look at that check. Loan me some money.
You happen to be carrying a $3,000 giant check here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, what's your name?
Gwyneth Cahoon.
Oh, that's who it's made out to. There you go. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
So now you wrote an essay about patriotism?
Yes.
What was kind of the main idea?
The main idea was what patriotism means to me and how my dad has kind of shaped my view of patriotism since he's serving in the military currently.
And what branch is he in?
He's in the Navy.
In the Navy. Man, I mean, I've never seen an event like this where everybody's benefiting so much, and we do a nationally syndicated veterans and military radio show. So this is fantastic.
Well, she never answered my initial question.
Oh, can you borrow some money?
You're going to loan me some money.
I kind of need it for college, but maybe later.
Where are you going to college?
Hopefully UC Santa Barbara.
Oh, fantastic. Well, congratulations.
Well, we understand your paper was just touched a lot of people.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Farmers people have been so great, and we got their Chief Marketing Officer, Mike Linton, here. Mike, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, I want to start with the fact that, and I don't know if a lot of people know this, because there are other insurance companies that kind of lay claim to military and veterans, but Farmers was started by two military people, right?
That's true. Quite a long time ago, but and we are very into the military. We recruit a lot for our agents from military. We are doing blessings in a backpack, actually, right upstairs right now, which will go to the Doris Miller School. That is a military school, and then we're going to the Armed Services YMCA actually tomorrow morning to distribute food to military folks. So, we have a great pipeline with the military, and we really have found it's a fabulous way for us to give back, and we get a lot from the military as well.
So, Farmers really does a great job reaching out to the communities. First responders. Yep. I mean, this event is special in that way, isn't it?
It's true. We like to say it's more than about golf, and it is a lot about golf. And don't get me wrong, we love this tournament, and it's really fun. But we also use this as a big charitable week for the company, and we are doing a lot of stuff this year around disaster preparedness, disaster response, and then disaster recovery. And I have Nick Schuler here with me, who is a first responder, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. But this week, almost all of our work is about disaster preparedness, response, and recovery. And we have a lot going on disaster response.
That's really cool to take this opportunity for a big tournament like this to focus on that. And Nick, what is your position here in the fire community?
So my name is Nick Schuler, and I'm a deputy chief for CAL FIRE here in San Diego County.
And so what does it mean to you guys to have a company like Farmers and an event like this to put that kind of spotlight and thrust behind you guys?
Well, it's for Farmers Insurance to support 500 first responders, police, fire from throughout Southern California is very special. But also, these are people we work with day in, day out. We see them on disasters. We work together, and I think it's a great opportunity to continue building relationships with all of our partners.
And first responders have really had their hands full here in California recently.
Man.
Yeah, this year we've had the deadliest wildfire in California's history, the most destructive wildfire in California's history, and the structure that has, or the fire that has burned more structures than anywhere else in California's history. So it's been a devastating year. Recovery still continues. There's a lot of people out there that have suffered significant losses, but we're really working to prepare ourselves. And really, if they've not, living in California, if you've not been affected by a wildfire, you will be at some point in your life.
And if it wasn't for the superhuman efforts of first responders, would be the numbers would be a lot worse than they are now.
Well, what we've seen this year, every year firefighters say it can't get worse than what we've seen, and unfortunately it continues to get worse. So it's important to have good coordination between fire and law enforcement, and also our partners, not only from the insurance companies, but from all other aspects of public service.
And just to kind of underscore what Farmers gets in there and does, it's not just words. We talked to the Gilberts.
A great story.
Oh my gosh, we talked to them yesterday, and after their disaster in Houston, Farmers comes in and not only comes in and makes everybody feel good, but pitched in. I mean, the volunteers, the Farmers employees, everybody pitched in, and then Ricky Fowler, the pro golfer, came in. What a great story that was.
Yeah, thanks for bringing that up. So the disaster recovery is. It takes a long time, and we have our mobile claims bus. We have a lot of work that goes on there, and we're very proud of that work. We also know that it's a long time for a community to rebuild, and so we spend a lot of time, and Farmers volunteers go out and have built houses in Joplin and now in Houston, and also in New Jersey, but now in Houston. And at Houston, Ricky Fowler, who is our brand ambassador, we root hard for Ricky, was building a house and met the Gilberts. And the 6-year-old has a heart condition, and they bonded, and they are out here now because we know that recovery isn't just physical recovery, it's also emotional recovery, and it takes a while for all that to get done, and we like to think we can contribut a little bit.
I mean, the 6-year-old is Ricky Fowler.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, he's got the gear on, he's got the,
I don't know if you happened to be at yesterday, the kids clinic, and that was just outrageously fun.
That was great. That was incredible. Hey,
well, excuse me. Good thing about that story. Another good thing about that story is Farmers didn't ask if they were policyholders.
You're right.
They were people in need, and you helped them.
Yeah. Well, when we look at disaster recovery, it's so intense. And it takes so long. We think it's crazy to get that specific on things like that. And also, I will say we're a California company. We have thousands of employees and agents in the state. So this year was particularly, intense for us on a number of fronts. And so we're very thankful to the first responders and a lot of folks that also helped us out.
Well, now, Nick, another thing going on at the Farmers Insurance Open today is the fact that is it on 14 where the birdies are, or what hole is that? 14. And for every birdie during the tournament, the first responders get $1,000.
Yeah, that's a great opportunity for that money to go to a really good cause, and again to have a Farmers Insurance partner with the fire community and the police department.
Thank you guys for the time, and thank you guys for what you're doing, and thanks for having us here. This is a fabulous time, and there's nothing better we like to talk about than people helping veterans and first responders. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much for having us.
Thanks for having us. Have a great time.
We'll be right back here on the National Defense.
How do you thank the millions of men and women who have fought so bravely for our country over the years? At the Home Depot, we think it takes more than words. We believe the best way to show gratitude is to do gratitude. The Home Depot Foundation is committed to veterans and their families, improving their homes and their lives. Since 2011, we've invested $160 million to veteran causes and impacted over 26,000 veteran homes. By 2020, we'll grow that investment to $250 million. From simple wheelchair ramps to complete home makeovers, transitional housing, community support, we consider it a duty and a privilege to serve senior, wounded, and homeless veterans the best ways we know how. After all they've given us, it's the least we could do. $250 million by 2020. Doing more for veterans. Doing gratitude. The Home Depot. More saving. More doing.
Did you know WD-40 Company offers more than just a blue and yellow can? There's a line of high-performance WD-40 brand products developed for professionals that include degreasers, penetrants, and greases. The WD-40 Specialist Greases line includes a multi-purpose grease, a high-temperature grease, an extreme pressure grease, and a marine-grade water-resistant grease. The products are interchangeable with each other so they won't cause cross-contamination issues that compromise performance and effectiveness. Pick up a can at Home Depot and learn more about these and other WD-40 brand products at WD-40Specialist.com.
It's been called shell shock, war neurosis, and battle fatigue. Today, we call it post-traumatic stress disorder, and it affects 1 out of every 5 warriors returning from battle in Iraq and Afghanistan. The Wounded Warrior Project offers comfort and support for warriors with PTSD and all other scars of war, whether those scars are visible or hidden. Find out how to help, because for warriors, the greatest casualty is being forgotten. Please visit woundedwarriorproject.org.
All right, welcome to F-150 Radio. Today, the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar. We got Dean.
Hey, so Ford F-150 engineers are raising the bar, but I'm all about lowering the bar. Like I only brush my teeth on Monday.
Really?
Saves time.
Nice. The new Ford F-150 lineup raises the bar because, once again, it's number 1 in towing, payload, and torque.
I watch VHS tapes and never rewind.
And F-150 raises the bar with advanced thinking like a more powerful engine lineup and available EcoBoost engine technology.
I got a camcorder, a big one.
F-150 has available pre-collision assist with pedestrian detection. This truck can help make you more competent at everything.
Competent schmompetent.
Okay. This is the new 2018 Ford F-150. It doesn't just raise the bar, it is the bar.
When properly configured, class is full-size pickups under 8,500 pounds GVWR based on Ford segmentation.
Gillette takes great pride in offering the right razor for every kind of face. Now you can get the right razor for your grooming needs when you need it with Gillette On Demand and have quality blades delivered right to your door. Subscribe to Gillette On Demand today and take $5 off your first order with special offer NDR5 at checkout. Enjoy free shipping, hassle-free billing, and you can change or cancel anytime. Visit online at GilletteOnDemand.com and remember, get $5 off your first order with special offer NDR5 at checkout.
We're standing guard with the truth. The National Defense.
Welcome back to the National Defense. It's Randy Miller, and it's time for another Eye Insights with VSP Vision Care and Dr. Robert Meisel, U.S. Navy captain and San Diego County Optometric Society board member, is back with us. Dr. Meisel, thanks for being here.
It's a pleasure, Andy. Thank you so much for having me on today.
Now, listen, you know, I'm looking at my calendar here, and I always have it circled for January, National Glaucoma Awareness Month. And you can't find many cards for that. But help us.
No, Hallmark hasn't.
Hallmark's got a few. So, you hear about glaucoma a lot. What is it, and signs you may have it, and how to prevent it? Can you give us all of those?
Sure. Well, glaucoma is called the silent thief of sight because it really doesn't have many symptoms. So one of the best ways, of course, really the only true way, is to be examined by a doctor and determine if it's present or not. And what it really is that it's a vascular disease where the pressure in the eye is higher than it needs to be to promote good health of the optic nerve. So there's a very rare type, angle closure glaucoma, and the much more common type of open angle glaucoma. And what it means is that the fluid inside of the eye is not draining out as quickly as it should to maintain a steady pressure within the eye that's safe for the optic nerve.
I mean, that right there is enough to get you to an exam, I would think.
Well, everyone goes in thinking, I don't have glaucoma because my eye doesn't hurt.
Right.
In the past, we saw these cartoons that say, oh, my eye hurts, I must have glaucoma. Either that or somebody stuck a finger in your eye. But glaucoma doesn't have those outward signs. And people who think they are doing great and don't have exams, sometimes they're very surprised when they come in and find they do have vision loss.
So who's at risk? Everybody?
Well, especially African Americans, because it is a vascular disease. Latinos and Caucasians over 60, again, the risk factors go up. Severe nearsightedness, high eye pressure in itself. But again, the only real way to tell is by looking at the optic nerve and determining if your visual field or your peripheral vision is compromised. And when both eyes are open, we don't even realize that, even if we would have a vision loss. So it only can be tested in the doctor's office to really be sure.
So once you're tested, how is glaucoma prevented or even treated?
Well, you really can't prevent glaucoma because there are some hereditary risk factors, and but if it's caught early enough, it can be treated and controlled. And there are options, typically with medication at the beginning stages of it, to control the eye pressure, to make the fluid escape from the inside of the eye faster. And if that doesn't work, then certainly there are surgeries that are available to prevent it from being progressive.
That's why you need to get into your eye doctor and find out about it now. Hey, Dr. Meisel, VSP Vision Care has a lot of exciting things for our particular audience. Can you talk about what you guys are doing?
We are a vision carrier participating in the Federal Dental and Vision Insurance Program, known as FedVIP. For those military families and retirees that enrolled in November, they now have access starting January 1st of this year to comprehensive vision coverage through FedVIP. If you missed the open season and are a newly eligible TRICARE member or are retiring at any point this year, you can review VSP plan options at choosevsp.com. And when you're ready to learn how to enroll, go to benefeds.com to learn about enrollment options.
Dr. Meisel, thank you so much. We'll be back here next week with another edition of Eye Insights with VSP Vision Care right here on the National Defense.
With the active duty sweat protection of Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant, you can focus on looking your best, from your dress blues to your ACUs. From 0500 to the next, Gillette's 48-hour sweat and odor protection has got your 6 all day long, keeping you fresh and ready for action. Gillette goes on clear and doesn't leave white marks, so you always pass inspection with flying colors. Gillette Clear Gel Antiperspirant, tough on sweat and as ready for action as you are.
You think of the Home Depot for bedroom or bathroom updates, but bed linens or bath towels? Now you can find premium names like Laura Ashley, Eddie Bauer, and The Company Store at HomeDepot.com. It's a new year. Start with fresh new towels and bed linens from HomeDepot.com. Right now, up to 40% off. With any order over $45, delivered free. The Home Depot. More saving, more doing. U.S. only, valid through February 3rd. Enter promo code BEDBATH15 at purchase for an extra 15% off.
This portion of the National Defense is brought to you by Gorilla Glue, the makers of Gorilla Tape. Gorilla Tape has a tough, reinforced backing and is made with double-thick adhesive that grips to smooth, rough, and uneven surfaces. With a weather-resistant shell, Gorilla Tape can be used both indoors and out, which is perfect for applications in the field, including duck blinds, tree stands, and tent repairs. Gorilla Tape and Gorilla Glue for the toughest jobs on planet Earth.
We're standing guard with the truth. The National Defense.